What if the most dangerous plant in your yard didn't look dangerous at all? No bright warning colours, no thorns, no strange smell, just an ordinary-looking leaf that could leave you with agonizing pain, or in some cases, stop your heart. The truth is, some of the world's most poisonous plants look completely harmless. They grow in backyards, along hiking trails, even in neighbourhood gardens. Most people walk right past them without ever realising how dangerous they are. Today, I'm going to show you 19 poisonous plants that almost everyone walks past without a second thought. Some can kill through skin contact alone. Some hide fatal toxins behind beautiful flowers. Let us start with number 1, and it might already be sitting on your windowsill. Number 1. Dumbcane, Dieffenbachia. Millions of homes have this plant. Broad green leaves, thrives in low light. Perfect houseplant until someone chews on it. Inside those leaves are microscopic calcium oxalate crystals called raphides. Bite down and they shoot outward like tiny harpoons, stabbing into your mouth and throat. These poisonous crystals cause swelling that is immediate. Your tongue balloons, your throat constricts. That is where the name comes from, Dumbcane. It makes you unable to speak. In 2025, a 3-year-old needed mechanical ventilation after chewing one leaf. But while the swelling can be fatal for small children, Dumbcane is rarely fatal in adults. The pain stops most people from swallowing enough. Keep it high, wear gloves when pruning. You do not need to throw it out. This dangerous plant sits in plain sight. You might think that is the most deadly thing in a garden. But number 2 is the flower your neighbour planted to look beautiful. Number 2, oleander. Those gorgeous pink and white flowering bushes along highways, median strips and schoolyards. Oleander, Nerium oleander. It blooms in warm climates worldwide, California, the Mediterranean, and Australia. Every single part is deadly poisonous. Leaves, flowers, stems, seeds, bark, even the water left in a vase after cutting flowers. The toxins are cardiac glycosides, poisonous compounds that disrupt your heart rhythm and are fatal even in tiny amounts. One leaf can kill a child. A few can kill an adult. There is a documented case of soldiers who grilled meat on oleander sticks. Multiple men fell critically ill. The sap transferred through smoke and direct contact with their skin was enough. Some died. But here is the twist that makes oleander extraordinary. Researchers discovered oleandrin, the exact molecule that stops hearts, also fights 19 types of cancer cells in laboratory studies. Phase 1 clinical trials confirmed it's safe at therapeutic doses. The same molecule that stops a heart might one day stop a tumour. And the next deadly plant hides in wedding bouquets. Number 3, lily of the valley. The flower brides carry down the aisle, symbol of purity, innocence, the return of happiness. It was in Kate Middleton's royal wedding bouquet, Convallaria majalis, lily of the valley. It contains not 1, not 5, but 38 different cardiac glycosides. The most dangerous among them, convalatoxin, more potent drop for drop than digitalis. For cats, 2 leaves are enough to kill. For children, swallowing just 1 to 5 of those small orange-red berries triggers cardiac arrhythmia that can stop the heart. Even the water left in a vase is toxic enough to poison a pet. The entire plant is poisonous through every root. Touch causes skin irritation. Ingestion causes cardiac collapse. Yet European folk healers prescribed it for heart conditions centuries before modern pharmacology existed, and science confirmed they were right. Convalatoxin has a broader therapeutic window than digitalis, meaning there is more room between a healing dose and a fatal one. Purity and poison growing from the same stem. From a flower you might hold at a wedding to something you might be holding right now. Number 4, tobacco. Yes, tobacco. The one plant on this list you might be touching right now. Everyone knows cigarettes harm. But pure concentrated nicotine is devastatingly toxic. 40 to 60 milligrams is lethal. Green tobacco sickness affects harvesters who handle wet leaves. Nicotine absorbs through bare skin on contact. Touch the wet leaves and the poison enters your body, thousands of cases yearly. one of the most dangerous plants because it is the most normalized poison on Earth. 8 million deaths annually. Yet 2025 research suggests nicotine may be neuroprotective against Parkinson's disease, reducing protein clumps that destroy dopamine neurons. The emphasis: patches for research, never cigarettes. The most familiar poison might hold a key to one of the most feared diseases of our time. Number 5. Rosary pea. Look at rosary pea seeds, and you understand immediately why people are drawn to them. Bright scarlet, with a single jet black dot at one end. They look like polished gemstones, so perfect they seem manufactured. For centuries across India, Southeast Asia, and the Caribbean, people drilled them into rosary beads, necklaces, and bracelets. Some jewelers died. A tiny crack in the shell while drilling was all it took. Inside each seed is abrin, a toxin 75 times more potent than ricin. 3 micrograms is the lethal dose for an adult human. That is essentially invisible to the naked eye. Abrin destroys ribosomes, shutting down protein production in every cell it reaches. Among the deadliest natural substances on Earth, inside one of the most beautiful packages nature has ever designed. But here is the paradox that makes rosary pea fascinating. If the shell stays intact, the seed passes through the human digestive system completely harmlessly. Stomach acid cannot penetrate the coat. You could swallow one whole and survive without symptoms. Nature's deadliest pill with its own built-in safety cap. If you are learning something new right now, hit that subscribe button. We research these so you do not have to find out the hard way. Number 6. Water hemlock. Nothing we have covered so far moves this fast. Water hemlock looks like wild parsley. It grows in wet meadows and streams across North America. People have mistaken it for edible plants dozens of times. The toxin is cycutoxin, concentrated in the roots. 15 minutes. That is onset time. 15 minutes from ingestion to full grand mal seizures. Compare that to ricin, which takes days. Compare it to agonizing, which takes hours. Water hemlock is the sprinter of plant poisons. Cycutoxin blocks GABA receptors, the brain's main inhibitory system. Without that break, every neuron fires uncontrollably. Seizures begin. Muscles contract so powerfully they can fracture bones. Treatment exists, barbiturates and ventilation, but the window is heartbreakingly narrow. Most victims are found in fields, already seizing, far from any hospital. The most violently toxic plant on the continent. Number 7 killed the most famous philosopher who ever lived. In 399 BC, Athens sentenced Socrates to death. His execution, a cup of poison hemlock extract. Plato recorded what happened. The numbness began in his feet, then crept up his legs, then his abdomen, then his chest. When it reached his diaphragm, he stopped breathing. That is ascending paralysis caused by the alkaloid coniine. It blocks nerve signals from reaching muscles. The paralysis climbs upward. Your mind stays perfectly clear throughout. You feel everything. You simply cannot move. In 2002, a man in the United Kingdom died after picking what he believed was wild parsley and putting it in a sandwich. Poison hemlock looks almost identical to Queen Anne's lace. The key: purple blotches on the stem. Crush a leaf and it smells like mice. Musty. Wrong. No medical use whatsoever. Learn the purple blotches. That knowledge alone could save your life. Number 8. White snakeroot. Here is a plant that breaks all the rules. White snakeroot does not need you to touch it or eat it. Its toxin, trematol, passes through the food chain intact. Plant to cow, cow to milk, milk to human. In the early 1800s, thousands of American settlers died from something called milk sickness. Nobody understood why. Doctors blamed bad water, atmospheric miasma, everything except the real cause. Abraham Lincoln's mother, Nancy Hanks Lincoln, died from it in 1818. Little Abraham was 9 years old. The mystery persisted for decades until a frontier woman named Anna Pierce Hobbs Bixby figured it out around 1834. She noticed that cows grazing in certain areas produced milk that killed. She identified white snakeroot years before the medical establishment accepted it. Today, trematol poisoning is eliminated from commercial dairy, but the lesson endures. A toxin does not need to touch you directly to kill you. Sometimes poison travels through the things you trust most. Number 9. Strychnine tree. Strychnos nux vomica. The seeds produce strychnine, which causes every muscle in your body to contract simultaneously. Your back arches violently, your jaw locks, your face contorts into a rigid grin called risus sardonicus. And you remain conscious through all of it. Convulsions come in waves, triggered by the slightest stimulus, a sound, a touch, a flash of light, used as rat poison since the 1640s. But in the 1800s, doctors sold it as a nerve tonic. Thomas Hicks won the 1904 Olympic marathon. Fueled by strychnine and brandy, his handlers injected him mid-race, and he nearly died at the finish line, now banned worldwide. But homeopathy still sells Nux vomica 30C over the counter. That 30C means diluted to 10 to the negative 60th power. Not a single molecule of strychnine remains in the solution. You are paying for expensive water. That was about the body. But the next two plants attack something far more terrifying, your mind. Number 10. Jimson weed, Datura stramonium, devil's snare. It grows everywhere, roadsides, vacant lots, disturbed soil, across every continent except Antarctica. It contains tropine alkaloids that hijack your central nervous system completely. This is not hallucination the way people imagine it. There are no patterns, no spiritual visions. Jimson weed produces true delirium. You cannot distinguish reality from imagination. You hold conversations with people who are not there. You wander into traffic, into water. And it lasts 3 days. 3 days of complete disconnection from reality. The worst part, alkaloid concentration varies up to 5 times within a single plant. Young leaf versus old, morning versus evening. There is no safe dose because there is no consistent dose. Pure avoidance is the only strategy. Number 11. Angel's trumpet. From one that steals your awareness to one weaponized to steal your will. Brugmansia. Those breathtaking hanging bell flowers. They contain scopolamine, devil's breath. At high doses, victims remain conscious but lose all will. They walk, they talk, they follow instructions, they hand over bank pins. They help load their own possessions into a stranger's van. Then they remember nothing. In 2024, Medellin, Colombia, 39 tourists died. A gang called Las Despechadas targeted 2,000 victims through dating apps, tasteless, odorless scopolamine dissolved in drinks. But at controlled medical doses, scopolamine is in those motion sickness patches you buy before a cruise. The dose makes the poison. The dose makes the medicine. Number 12. Yew tree. From a plant that steals your mind to one that has been silently saving lives for decades, yew trees grow in churchyards across Europe. Some are over 1,000 years old, planted among graves as symbols of eternal life. The irony, almost every part will kill you. Taxines cause sudden cardiac arrest within an hour. But in 1962, botanist Arthur Barkley collected Pacific yew bark for the National Cancer Institute. In 1967, researchers isolated paclitaxel. By 1992, it reached market as Taxol and changed oncology forever. It freezes cancer cells mid-division by stabilizing microtubules. Today, Taxol treats breast, ovarian, lung, and pancreatic cancer. World Health Organization, essential medicine, over $2 billion per year. Think of it as nature's longest redemption arc, 2,000 years standing over graves, now fighting the disease that fills them. Which one shocked you most so far? Drop it in the comments. Are you team I had no idea, or team I have seen this growing near my house? Number 13. Suicide tree. Now we enter territory where plants do not just kill, they conceal the killing. Cerbera manchas. The suicide tree. It grows across Southeast Asia and the Pacific Islands. Unremarkable in appearance. Green leaves, small white flowers, a green fruit about the size of a small mango. Nothing about it screams danger. And that is precisely why it is one of the most effective murder weapons in the natural world. The toxin cerberin is a cardiac glycoside. It disrupts the heart's electrical rhythm until it stops. But cerberin has a property that sets it apart from every other poison on this list. It is virtually undetectable in a standard autopsy. The taste, slightly bitter, is easily masked by strong food. In Kerala, India, where heavily spiced curries are daily meals, the fruit can be mixed into food without the victim noticing. For possibly decades, these deaths went completely unquestioned, but science caught up. High-performance liquid chromatography and advanced mass spectrometry now detect cerberin in post-mortem tissue. Forensic labs have added it to screening panels. The perfect murder weapon is no longer perfect. Number 14. Castor bean. September 7th, 1978, London. Bulgarian dissident Georgy Markov felt a sharp sting in his thigh as he crossed Waterloo Bridge. He turned and saw a man with an umbrella. 3 days later, Markov was dead. The weapon was a tiny pellet containing ricin, a toxin derived from the castor bean plant. Ricin is so potent that only a minute amount can be fatal. It works by shutting down protein production inside cells, causing organs to fail. To this day, no antidote exists. Yet the story has a strange second half. The very same seed also produces castor oil, a billion-dollar industry used in everything from cosmetics and medicines to lubricants and biodegradable plastics. During processing, the ricin is destroyed and removed completely. One seed, a notorious Cold War assassination weapon, and a global industry worth billions. Number 15. Belladonna. Belladonna. Beautiful woman. The name tells the history. Renaissance Italy. Aristocratic women dropped the extract in their eyes to dilate pupils, wide, dark, luminous. It was also slowly blinding them. Atropa belladonna produces glossy black berries that taste sweet. 10 kill an adult, 2 to 5 kill a child. Children find them irresistible. They look like small grapes. Throughout history, belladonna served darker purposes. The assassin's berry in medieval Europe slipped into wine, causing delirium, then death. An ingredient in witches' flying ointment, trypane alkaloids absorbed through skin cause vivid sensations of flight. But the arc of belladonna in medicine is the most dramatic on this list. Atropine, the active compound, is used in hospitals every single day. Eye dilations, bradycardia treatment, surgical prep. And the role no one expected. During World War II, Germans developed nerve gases, colourless, odourless, one breath could kill. The only antidote, atropine. It blocks the exact receptors nerve agents activate. Today, soldiers worldwide carry auto-injector kits of the ancient assassin's poison. From assassin's tool to emergency room essential, that is belladonna, across 500 years. Number 16. Foxglove. And now the plant that closes a loop we opened at the very beginning. Tall, purple bells on a spike. Digitalis purpurea. Foxglove. It grows wild across Europe, hedgerows, woodland edges, gardens everywhere. At toxic doses, the cardiac glycosides cause a bizarre constellation of symptoms: nausea, confusion, and most distinctly, xanthopsia. There is a persistent theory that Van Gogh's yellow period was influenced by foxglove toxicity. His physician, Dr. Gachet, prescribed digitalis for epilepsy. Van Gogh painted him holding a foxglove sprig. The swirling yellows of Starry Night, artistic genius, or digitalis poisoned vision? We may never know. But here is what we know. In 1775, physician William Withering learned from a folk herbalist, an old woman in Shropshire, that her foxglove tea treated dropsy, what we now call congestive heart failure. Withering spent 10 years testing it meticulously. In 1785, he published results. 158 patients treated, 101 with heart failure recovered. Digoxin, derived from foxglove, remains prescribed today, over 240 years later. One of the only medicines from the 18th century still in clinical use. Number 17. Monkshood and wolfsbane. Everything we have discussed so far comes with caveats. Do not eat it. Do not brew it. Do not mistake it for something else. Number 17 rewrites those rules entirely. Aconitum, monkshood, wolfsbane, stunning purple-blue helmet-shaped flowers in cottage gardens across the northern hemisphere. 2 milligrams. That is the lethal dose of aconitin, less than a grain of rice. And here is what separates monkshood from almost everything else on this list. Aconitine absorbs directly through intact skin. You do not need to eat it. You do not need a wound. Simply handling the root with bare hands can deliver a fatal dose through your fingers, and there is no antidote. Historically, hunters tipped arrows with aconitine. Warriors smeared it on blades.
It was called wolfsbane because it killed wolves. If you grow Monkshood, never touch it without thick gloves. There is no antidote. That single fact should govern every interaction with this plant. Number 18. Manchineel. Imagine walking along a Caribbean beach. And there is perfect shade, a tree with broad green leaves and small round fruits that look exactly like little green apples. You sit under it to rest. Then it starts to rain. And that is when the nightmare begins. Every raindrop that falls through the canopy picks up sap from the leaves and bark. The water dripping onto your skin carries formable esters and other toxins that cause immediate chemical burns on contact. Your skin blisters as if touched by acid. If any of that water reaches your eyes, the burning is excruciating. Temporary blindness follows. And the fruit, those innocent-looking little apples. The Spanish conquistadors called it manzanilla de la muerte, the little apple of death. What began as a sweet taste quickly turned into intense burning pain. Her throat swelled so badly you could not swallow solid food for hours. Every part of the Manchineel is toxic: the fruit, leaves, bark, and sap. Even the smoke from burning its wood can cause severe eye injuries and temporary blindness. In southern Florida and across the Caribbean, Manchineel trees are marked with red paint rings and warning signs. The only trees on Earth that require warning labels simply for existing. Number 19. Gimpy. This is the plant that can drive you to end your own life just from brushing against it. Dendrocnide moroides. The Gimpy, an indigenous Australian name meaning stinging tree. It grows in the rainforests of Queensland. Large heart-shaped leaves, soft green, looks completely harmless. But every surface is covered in microscopic hollow silica needles. Each needle is a tiny hypodermic syringe loaded with moroidin neurotoxin. Touch the plant, even the lightest brush, and hundreds embed in your skin, injecting their payload. Survivors describe it as being burned with hot acid and electrocuted at the same time. The pain can last weeks, months. Every time conditions change, cold water, cold wind, physical touch, the pain returns at full intensity. But in 2020, researchers discovered that the plant's pain-causing toxins, called gympiotides, are unlike anything previously found in plants. These molecules attack the same pain pathways targeted by some of the world's most potent animal venoms. By studying exactly how they trigger such intense and long-lasting pain, scientists hope to develop new treatments for chronic pain. Nature's cruelest joke may become its greatest gift. 19 plants. Some kill silently, through a sip of milk or a bite of fruit. Some kill through a single touch. And some, the most fascinating ones, sit exactly on that razor's edge, between medicine and death. Plants on this list have produced at least 3 life-saving medicines still in use today. The difference between a cure and a poison has always been just a matter of dose. Now you know what to look for. If you are a gardener, save this video. If you are a science lover, share it with someone who needs to see this. Tell me in the comments which plant surprised you the most. If you thought plants were terrifying, wait until you see what is hiding in your own backyard. Click that video. I will see you there.